Okay, so we are back in action. See, we left off, we copy and paste that code, we switched it to port 3001, and now we're ready to test this out and see it all work. So we're going to go to our package.json. We can get rid of this under scripts. We can get rid of this test script. And be careful when you're messing around in here, though. You don't want to make an error. But if you do, we can always fix it. Go to scripts, make a new script. We're going to call this one start in double quotes, a colon, I said more double quotes, and we're going to say node space index.js. Just like that. Save it. Down to the terminal. And you remember our index.js at the bottom, it has this app.listen telling the server to listen on port 3001, and then comma that calls a callback function right after it does the listen, or it logs this address. So all we have to do is type npm start, enter, and it starts right up. There's our link right there, and I can actually click on it by pressing Control and clicking the mouse. It opens over in my browser, and now we're in this graphical user interface that we get. It's like a testing environment to test out your stuff. So you want to go on the left side here, and you're going to type an opening curly brace. It's going to close it for you. Open that up, and then if you remember this type of B, remember our query was called books. And you can just hit enter. It does a lot of auto-suggesting. After books, do another curly. And here, it's looking for title and author. It does a lot of cool auto-suggesting stuff for you. Meanwhile, it's generating this crazy gibberish up here we're not going to worry about. And we're just going to hit play. And there we go. We've got our data, which is our books, our Harry Potter and our Jurassic Park book. So this is the format for writing queries. Instead of having to write a query out like we saw in the beginning, like those crazy long strings attached to a URL like www.crazystring, you know, we can set our server up so we type our things basically like a JavaScript object, and that we get back, that's what we get back. We get JavaScript objects. We get, you know, there's an array, two objects in it. We have our normal JavaScript strings. So everything is good. So that's how we're going to set up this to-do app. We can leave a lot of this stuff in here. Well, for now, I'm going to get rid of the fake book data. I'm going to get rid of the fake type defs and resolvers. I'll get rid of pretty much everything here. I will leave that, and I'm going to leave app.use GraphQL. I'm going to leave Graphql. I'm going to leave start server. We can replace this with server running on port 3001. So we just pared it down. So we want to make a legit app. We want our app to actually save these to-dos for us so we can come back later and look at them and check them off. We want to be able to check off our to-dos. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out how we want to do that. And to do that, we're going to use something called MongoDB, Mongo database. So we're going to look up nlab into the browser. And then if you don't have an account here, sign up for an account. It's free. I'm going to log into mine. You can pause the video here if you need to. But once you get your account going, you want to come in and create a new database here. I have a bunch of databases listed out, but you're going to want to create a new one. I'm just going to give you choices, but you're going to want to go with the Amazon one that's free. Hit continue. And depending on where you are, I'm closer to US. I'm going to click US, then continue. I'm going to name it to-do-tutorial. And continue. This is just a confirmation page where you submit your order. It's free. You never have to put in any credit cards or anything like that. Oh, I'm going to have to try a different name. Call it to-do YouTube. This is going to be a YouTube tutorial. Hopefully that one's available. Yep. So you can see it's processing. It's already created my database. Click on it, and now you're in the database. We don't have any collections. That's where our data is going to be. We're not going to worry too much about all these other things except users. We're going to click on users. We're going to add a database user. We're going to pick a username. I'm going to use my normal screen name. Benjamin 80K. And remember, make sure you remember the password. We're going to need these username and password in our actual application. So don't forget your username and password. And you want to keep your password to yourself, obviously. You don't want other people having access to your online resources, you know. Not that they can really do too much damage here, but we're going to copy this string right here. It looks something like a website, except it says MongoDB, and then there's a spot for your username, a colon, and a spot for your password. Then there's just a bunch more stuff, followed by the name of your database. So this is an online database that we're using here. And we're going to, for now, well, let's just create, we can put it over on our index.js file here. Put it anywhere, just make a comment, and paste that in. Or you could go back and get it later, it's no big deal. But I just want to have that on hand. One thing we're going to do now is going to run npm install again. I'll show you a shortcut. Instead of typing npm install --save every time, just type npm I --S. That's just the same as typing npm install --save. And we're going to get something called mongoose. It's M-O-N goose. We're going to install that. That's the software that interfaces with MongoDB. Mongoose.js, you go to their website, just type in mongoose. And this is how we're going to access our database. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to make a new folder. And we're going to call this folder models. In there, we're going to create a new file. And we're going to call it index. Actually, no, we're going to call it to-do.js. And before this time runs out, we're going to type const mongoose require mongoose. So I think that's pretty good for this video. And save that file. We'll see you next one.